Imagine walking into a room and chatting in English so naturally that everyone thinks you've been fluent your whole life. Want to make that happen today? Stick with me, and I'll share the ultimate trick to sounding like a native in just one lesson. Welcome to Ank's English, your daily go-to for fun and practical English lessons that make fluency feel easy. I'm Ank, your enthusiastic host, here to guide you to speak with confidence. If you're new around here, we drop a fresh English lesson every single day to help you level up naturally. Today, we're diving into something super exciting: 50 everyday English phrases that native speakers use all the time. These phrases are short, versatile, and will make your conversations sound smooth and authentic. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand these phrases, but also feel ready to use them in real-life situations, whether you're catching up with friends, ordering food, or just chatting casually. We'll break each phrase down with clear explanations, walk through lively examples, and practice together to build your confidence. So grab a notebook, maybe a coffee, and let's jump right in. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon to never miss a daily lesson from Ank's English. Ready? Let's make your English shine. Starting conversations with warmth. Let's kick things off with greetings that feel friendly and inviting. A simple hello can feel stiff, so try something relaxed like, "Hey, what's up?" or "How's life going?" These phrases spark a conversation with ease and make the other person feel comfortable. Picture this. You're at a local market and spot a friend. You say, "Hey, what's up?" They might respond, "Just picking up some fruit." What about you? This feels natural and sets a great tone for the chat. Compare that to a plain hello, which might just get a quick hi back and stall the conversation. Another great phrase is, "It's been ages since we last met." This works perfectly when you run into someone you haven't seen in a while, like an old classmate or neighbor. It shows excitement and opens the door for catching up. For example, imagine you're at a school reunion and see a former friend. You say, "It's been ages since we last met. How's life going?" They might reply, "I just started a new job. It's been a whirlwind." This phrase adds warmth and makes the other person feel special. Let's practice. Say out loud, "It's been ages since we last met. What's new with you?" Now imagine their response. "I moved to a new city. It's been an adventure." Try this a few times, picturing different people, like a cousin or coworker, to get the rhythm. The key is to sound genuine and excited, as if you're thrilled to reconnect. You can even vary the tone. Make it upbeat for a close friend or slightly softer for an acquaintance. This flexibility helps the phrase fit any situation, checking in with genuine interest. Next, let's talk about asking how someone's doing in a way that feels personal and engaging. The classic, "How are you?" is fine, but it often leads to a bland, "I'm fine" response. Instead, try phrases like, "What's the vibe these days?" or "How's everything holding up?" These feel relaxed and encourage the other person to share more details. For instance, if you're chatting with a colleague, you might say, "What's the vibe these days at work?" They could reply, "It's been busy, but I'm getting the hang of it." Or you could ask, "How's everything holding up with your new project?" This shows you care about something specific, making the conversation deeper and more meaningful. Let's dive deeper into a scenario. Imagine your friend just started a new hobby, like photography. You could say, "What's the vibe with your photography classes? Are you loving it?" This invites them to share details like, "It's so fun, but I'm still learning the camera settings." Practice this out loud. What's the vibe with your new workout routine? Picture their response. It's tough, but I'm feeling stronger already. Try asking about different topics like school, travel, or family to build confidence. The trick is to sound curious and engaged, like you're genuinely interested in their world. This makes people open up and keeps the conversation flowing naturally. You can also adjust the phrase slightly, like, "How's everything going with your studies?" to fit the context. The goal is to make the question feel tailored to the person you're talking to. Agreeing with energy. When you want to show you're on the same page, skip a simple yes and go for something lively like, "Totally agree," or "You hit the nail on the head." These phrases show enthusiasm and keep the conversation dynamic. For example, if a friend says, "Learning English takes time and effort," you could reply, "Totally agree. It's a marathon, not a sprint." Or if someone says, "This cold weather is unbearable," you might say, "You hit the nail on the head. I'm freezing all day." These responses make you sound invested and add energy to the chat. Let's explore this further. Imagine you're talking about a new movie. Your friend says, "The plot was great, but the ending was weak." You could respond, "Totally agree. It started strong but fizzled out." This shows you're listening and adds your own perspective, keeping the conversation alive. Practice this. Someone says, "Vacations go by too fast." Say, "You hit the nail on the head. They're over in a flash." Try it with different topics like music or work to make it feel natural. You can also mix in a follow-up comment like, "Totally agree. Weekends are way too short. I need an extra day." The goal is to sound enthusiastic and keep the chat flowing like you're vibing with their point, showing excitement or surprise. To make conversations lively, use phrases like, "No way," "Really," or "That's absolutely wild" when someone shares exciting or surprising news. These show you're engaged and make the chat more fun. For example, if a friend says, "I just got tickets to a music festival," you could reply, "No way, really? That's so cool." Or if they say, "I saw a fox in my backyard," you might say, "That's absolutely wild." What happened next? These phrases add energy and show you're genuinely curious. Let's practice with a detailed scenario. Imagine your sibling says, "I'm moving to New York next month." You could respond, "No way, really? That's a huge deal. Tell me everything." This invites them to share more, like, "It's for a new job." "I'm so excited but nervous. Try it out loud." "That's absolutely wild." How'd you make that happen? Picture their reply, "It's a scholarship program. I still can't believe it." Try this with different surprises, like a new pet, a promotion, or a crazy travel story to build fluency. The key is to sound enthusiastic and ask a follow-up question to keep the conversation going. You can even vary the tone, more dramatic for big news or softer for smaller surprises, to match the moment. Asking for help politely. When you need assistance, avoid blunt requests and try polite phrases like, "Can you help me out for a sec?" Or, "Would you mind giving me a hand?" These sound friendly and respectful, making the other person feel appreciated. For example, if you're struggling with a task at school, you might say, "Can you help me out for a sec with this essay?" Or if you're carrying heavy bags, say, "Would you mind giving me a hand with these?" These phrases make your request feel natural and kind. Here's a deeper scenario. You're at work and need help with a presentation. You could say, "Can you help me out for a sec by reviewing my slides? I want to make sure they're clear." They might reply, "Sure, I'll take a look right now." Practice this out loud. "Would you mind giving me a hand with this package?" Imagine their response. "No problem. I've got it." Try it with different favors, like borrowing a charger, checking a document, or setting up a table. The tone should be warm and appreciative, and you can add a reason, like I'm struggling to figure this out, to make the request more personal. This approach builds stronger connections and makes people more willing to help. Offering help like a friend. When you want to support someone, use phrases like, need a hand with that? Or, I'm here if you need anything. These show you're ready to help without being pushy. For instance, if a friend is cleaning up after a barbecue, you could say, need a hand with those plates. Or if they seem stressed, try, I'm here if you need anything to lighten the load. These phrases make you sound caring and approachable. Let's dive into a scenario. Imagine your neighbor is carrying heavy paint cans. You could say, need a hand with those. They look heavy. They might reply, thanks. That'd be a lifesaver. Practice this. Say, I'm here if you need anything with that project. Picture their response. Really? I could use some advice. Try offering help in different situations like fixing a bike, organizing a party, or carrying groceries. The goal is to sound genuine and ready to step in, which strengthens your relationships. You can also add a friendly comment like, it looks like a big job to show you're paying attention. Making plans with enthusiasm. To agree to plans, use phrases like, I'm totally in, or that sounds perfect. These sound excited and natural. For example, if a friend says, let's try that new sushi place tomorrow, you could reply, I'm totally in. What time works? Or if they suggest, meet at the mall at 6, say, that sounds perfect. I'll be there. These phrases show you're eager and keep the vibe upbeat. Here's a scenario. You're planning a weekend outing. Your friend says, want to go kayaking on Saturday? You respond, I'm totally in. Should we rent the gear? They might say, good idea. Let's meet at 10. Practice this out loud. That sounds perfect for a game night. Imagine their reply, awesome, I'll bring snacks. Try it with different plans like a movie marathon, a hike, or a study group to feel natural. You can also add a question like, should we invite anyone else to keep the planning collaborative? The key is to sound enthusiastic and confirm the details clearly. Ending conversations warmly. When wrapping up a chat, avoid a plain goodbye and try, catch you later, or let's talk soon. These feel warm and keep the connection open. For example, after a great conversation, you might say, had a blast catching up, catch you later. Or on a call, say, this was awesome. Let's talk soon. These phrases leave a positive impression and make the other person feel valued. Let's practice with a scenario. You're leaving a friend's place after a chat. Say, love this chat. Let's talk soon. They might reply, for sure. See you around. Try it out loud. Catch you later. Stay awesome. Imagine ending a video call with, had fun today. Let's talk soon. Try it in different settings like a cafe, a party, or a quick chat at work. You can add a personal touch like thanks for the great convo to make it even warmer. The tone should be friendly and upbeat to end on a high note, keeping the chat engaging. To keep listeners hooked, toss in phrases like, you know what I mean, or right. These check if the other person is following and make your speech interactive. For example, you might say, this new app is so confusing, you know what I mean. Or that concert was epic, right? These phrases pull the listener in and make the chat feel like a two-way street. Let's explore a scenario. You're talking about a tough day. You say, I was stuck in traffic forever. You know what I mean. They might nod, totally, I hate that. Practice this. Say, this heat is unbearable, right? Try it with different topics like school or hobbies to make it natural. You can also vary the phrase, like you feel me, to keep it fresh. The goal is to sound conversational and keep the other person engaged, like you're chatting with a close buddy. Quick practice conversation. Let's tie these together in a mini conversation. Picture meeting a friend at a skate park. You say, "Hey, what's up?" They reply, "Just practicing some tricks." You say, "Cool. It's been ages since we last met. You know what I mean." They nod, "Totally, I've been swamped." You suggest, "Want to grab smoothies after this?" They say, "I'm totally in." You wrap up, "Sweet, I'll text you. Catch you later." Now try it again, maybe at a music store, swapping smoothies for coffee. Practice this a few times to make the phrases feel automatic. The more you role play, the more natural you'll sound in real chats. Expressing emotions naturally. For good news, skip a basic good and try, "That's incredible," or "I'm so pumped for you." These show genuine excitement. For example, if a friend says, "I got into my top college," reply, "That's incredible. I'm so pumped for you. Tell me more." This makes your response warm and engaging. Practice this. They say, "I adopted a kitten." Say, "That's incredible. What's its name?" Try it with different good news, like a new job or a big win, to build fluency. You can add a follow-up like, "How are you celebrating?" to keep the chat going. For bad news, use "That's really rough" or "I'm so sorry to hear that." If someone says, "My phone broke," reply, "That's really rough. Can you get it fixed?" Or if they say, "I didn't get the scholarship," say, "I'm so sorry to hear that. Something better's coming." Practice this. They say, "My flight got canceled." Say, "That's really rough. Need any help sorting it out?" Try responding to different bad news to sound empathetic and supportive, showing empathy and connection. To show you understand someone's feelings, use "I totally get it" or "I've been there too." These build a bond. For example, if a friend says, "I'm so stressed about exams," reply, "I totally get it. They're overwhelming." Or if they say, "I can't focus with all this noise," say, "I've been there too. It's so annoying." Practice this. They say, "I'm nervous about my interview." Say, "I totally get it." Job interviews are tough. Try it with different emotions like excitement or frustration to sound natural and caring. Asking for clarification politely. If you miss something, don't stay silent. Use, "Can you say that again?" or "What do you mean by that?" These keep the conversation flowing. For example, if someone talks too fast, say, "Can you say that again? I missed it." Or if they use a tricky term, say, "What do you mean by that? Can you break it down?" Practice this. They mention a complex topic. Say, "Can you say that again? I want to follow." Imagine their reply. "Sure, let me explain it better." Try it in different scenarios to feel confident asking for clarity. Using natural fillers. Fillers like, "Let me think for a moment," or kind of, give you time to process while sounding natural. If someone asks, "What's your favorite movie?" say, "Let me think for a moment. Probably a comedy." Or if you're unsure, say, "It's kind of, hard to choose." Practice this. Say, "It's kind of, tricky to decide." Try using fillers in different responses to sound relaxed and conversational. Making suggestions smoothly. For suggestions, use "How about we?" or "What if we?" These feel collaborative. For example, "How about we try that new ice cream shop?" Or "What if we go for a bike ride?" Practice this. Say, "How about we watch a thriller tonight?" Imagine their reply, "Sounds fun. Let's do it." Try suggesting different activities like dancing or cooking to make it versatile. Changing topics gracefully. To shift topics, use "by the way" or "speaking of." For example, "By the way, have you tried that new bakery?" Or "Speaking of, did you see that new show?" Practice this. Say, "Speaking of, how's your new job going?" Try it with different topic shifts to keep conversations smooth. Disagreeing with respect. Disagree politely with, I see your point, but or, not sure I agree. If someone says, morning classes are the best, reply, I see your point, but I'm more of an afternoon person. Practice this. They say, social media is pointless. Say, not sure I agree, but it depends on how you use it. Try it with different opinions to stay respectful. Showing surprise or amazement. For shocking news, use no way really, or that's totally nuts. If someone says, I saw a bear while hiking, reply, no way really. That's incredible. Practice this. They say, I won a photography contest. Say, that's totally nuts. What did you shoot? Try reacting to different surprises to sound engaged. Reassuring someone kindly. To calm someone, use no big deal or don't worry about it. If they spill juice, say no big deal. It happens. Practice this. They say, I forgot our meeting. Say, don't worry about it. Let's reschedule. Try it with different mistakes to sound supportive. Full practice conversation. Imagine you're at a farmer's market. You say, hey, what's up? Your friend replies, just checking out the veggies. You say, nice. It's been ages since we last met, you know what I mean? They nod. Totally. Life's been crazy. You suggest, how about we grab lunch after this? They say, I'm totally in. You end. Cool, I'll text you. Catch you later. Try it again, maybe at a bookstore, swapping lunch for coffee. Practice makes these phrases second nature. More everyday phrases for fluency. For opinions, use honestly or to be real. Like, honestly, that book was overrated. Practice say, to be real, this pizza needs more cheese. For plans, say, I'm thinking about or I'm excited to. Like, I'm thinking about visiting Italy next year. Practice say, I'm excited to try yoga soon. For offers, try, want me to help with that or need me to step in. Practice say, want me to help with those bags. For advice, use you should probably or I'd go with. Like, you should probably rest before the trip. Practice, say I'd go with the blue jacket for the event. Final practice round. Try these out loud. Friend says, I got a new guitar. Respond with excitement, you missed something. Ask for a repeat. Suggest a fun activity. Someone stressed. Show empathy. Someone thanks you. Reply casually. Closing thoughts. That's a wrap for today's Ank's English lesson. These 50 phrases are your key to chatting like a native. Practice them daily. Say them in the mirror, with friends, or even to yourself. Fluency comes from using them in real moments, not just memorizing them. Thanks for joining me. If this lesson helped, smash that like button, subscribe to Ank's English, and tap the bell for daily English tips. I'm Ank, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing, stay confident, and let's talk soon.